What's going on, sliders? Today we got ourselves a nice ride to work on. Today we are throwing some downpipes on this 2020 M8. This is a really big car, although it is a coupe. That front end is crazy. This engine is a hot V8 engine, so the downpipes sit right back here, so it's gonna be fun. Stay tuned. So check out how beautiful this M8 looks. We recently threw that spoiler on it and it really did switch up the whole vibe. Super nice ride. I had the pleasure of driving it. It's solid. Launch control in the rain, no slip. It's awesome. This is definitely a true big body M. I mean, it doesn't get bigger than this. Probably the biggest coupe you can buy. It's freaking awesome. Check out how aggressive that front end is. Man, this is nice. M8 Grand Coupe. What y'all think? Grand Coupe? It's sweet. Super sweet ride. Just check out these lovely seats. They're freaking awesome. That's all I can say. Freaking awesome. So let's see how we're looking under here. Yes, sir. So we already got some cold air intakes. That's cool. Got that super crazy Transformers type engine cover up here. Nice. So that's where we're gonna be working today. Let's see. All right, guys. So first impressions. This is where we're working. Got to remove everything you see here out the way. So that's gonna be fun. I am gonna lift the car up into the air. Because I do have to get under the car to pull the secondary cats. We're gonna be using a lot of Torx up here to loosen all this stuff up. And yeah. You guys just heard that cold start. That's with a resonator delete, the stock muffler. So this thing is gonna scream after we put the cats on. It's already moderately loud, has moderate pops, but it's gonna scream. I can't wait. All right, guys, so these are the downpipes that are going on the M8. They are called Mastery of Art and Design. Probably one of the most affordable downpipes you can find on the market. I recently installed a downpipe on a 540 with this brand, and it gave me a little bit of trouble. So we're gonna see how these fit on the M8. Hopefully the fitment is a lot better than what I experienced on the 540i. So off rip, guys, you're gonna need a T25 and a T30 for these. They pretty much hold everything around here. You're gonna need a T30 and T25 for these smaller ones, the small black ones. I only see one here at the moment. So I'm gonna start loosening those up. You also have the O2s here that are gonna have to come out. So you could just start tugging stuff out of its place because everything here will move. So let's start getting all that stuff out. So I'm gonna just loosen everything up over here and then start moving stuff out the way. All right, guys, so I only had to move the T30s out the way and these down here. I'm gonna move these DME covers out the way because just to give us a little more clearance to slide over these reservoirs, so that way we don't have any issues, like so. So I feel like I'm getting caught up on something. So it seems like this after you move this out the way, the O2 sensors, you're gonna want to pull those off so they can give you some more slack. because I'm not draining the cooling system. So we just got to move these out the way. This side, same thing. I had a release over here. And this should, I also remove the cover there to get some more clearance. And I believe it's the same situation here, just something's holding it up. So yeah, guys, first few minutes is just moving stuff out the way. Nothing too crazy. Just be as careful as possible. I see that this side's a little troublesome. I see like coolant residue around, so I'm gonna be careful with these plastic lines. But stay focused, guys. I'm trying to cover every single part of this. I've watched a few videos on the downpipe installations, and there's a lot of parts that people skip over. Probably the most frustrating parts, but there's a lot of blanks in the videos, so I want to just cover everything with you guys. All right, so on this side, there's more T30s down there that you're gonna want to release. And the heat shield, you can do the heat shield now if you want to. The O2 sensor is kind of holding me back, so we're gonna want to release this O2 sensor from here. So yeah, I disconnected the other O2 sensor already. That one was pretty easy. You just have to pry on it to pop it out the plastic casing thing there. But this one, all right, well, I guess it came off. So right here below the O2, you guys see that little tab in the center? You're just gonna have to push that to the side. It's a clip, as you guys can tell, that little hook. You're gonna have to push it to the side, and then it will slide right out. So don't fight with this too much. Get yourself a nice little flathead, a small skinny one, and just push on this to the side, and then it'll slide right off. And then once we have these O2 sensors loose, this should feel a lot more loose. Like you can bring it over like that and out of your way. So that's that for the left side, or technically for the right side. Going to release a few more T30s down there, and then we'll move on to this side, which seems like it's going to be a lot tighter to move stuff out the way. Heat shield's almost loose. Looks like I missed one, so there's 4 screws that hold it. There's one right there, kind of covered in coolant on the right, lower right hand side there. And then that should be it. Sir, just like that. Boom, out the way. Now we can see what we're working with here. This is gonna be annoying. I think I'm gonna just get a zip tie and see if I could just zip tie it off to the side a little bit. Guys, so this is how I managed to get the tank out of the way. I just used a few zip ties, held it up here, as you guys can see, and that will be out of our way so we can avoid some frustration. Now we can see that we have some more T30s holding this other heat shield on. We are going to have to remove the O2 sensors. You're going to need a O2 sensor tool. This is a 22 millimeter. Most BMW's O2 sensors are 22 mil. So pretty much they slide in like so, and then you just crank on them and crack them off, get them off, and then they'll be out your way. I'm not sure if part numbers differ, so the one on the right side I'm gonna keep on the right side of the car, and the one on the left I'll keep on the left, so that way we don't have any complications later on when we put everything back together. Heat shields out, O2 sensors out, left on, put them, separate them so you don't get them mixed up. I'm not sure if they're different or not. So after I got those 4 screws out, still something holding it down below. As you guys can see, it's like a clip. It's a clip down there, so you just probably just have to just tug on it to get that clip to come off, like so, and then it's out. So we lit. There are our primary cats, and yeah, now we are, it looks like we're gonna switch it up to Allen's, because that's what we got down here. It looks like we got one here, one here. We got 2 there. We have some E-Torques holding the turbo clamps, holding the cats onto the turbos. Some more E-Torques down below. I seen those are pretty tight, but we're gonna start working on those Allens and these clamps, and hopefully these cats will be rattling loose soon. So let's get it. All right, guys, so those Allens are gonna be a number 6. So just so you guys know, might need some extensions to reach them down there. Crack those loose. I'm gonna knock those out and then I'll move on to the E-Torques. Moving on to the turbo clamps. They are held by E12 inverted Torques. All right guys, so I almost got those E-Torques out in the back. I ended up going with a 10mm ratchet wrench, which has been probably the most comfortable way to get this off. Considering you're standing on top of the engine, if you're not laying on it, it's just the most easiest, most convenient way to loosen this up. And that side's a bit tighter, so ratchet wrench for the win. Right, so once you have those bolts off the clamps, you're gonna notice they might be a little seized, so they might need an assistance to knock these clamps off. So I like to pry them, so I might just get like a little pry tool or maybe a flathead, or you know, just give them a little love tap, just so that way they open up. As you guys can see, the bolt's off but it's still closed. So what I'll do is I'll just put like a flathead in between it and just smack it with a hammer or something, just so that way they break loose. Clamps are loose. It's the moment of truth. I'm gonna brace myself here, see if I can pull one of these out. Feels like it's still on a little bit. Not sure this could be on. Maybe it's the clamp still holding it. These bottom clamps are kind of a pain. So I'm gonna just slide it off onto the other piece. Let's see. Let's see about this one. All right, guys. So apparently I'm blind, and there's obviously two Allens there holding on the downpipe on both sides. So sorry about that. I completely was oblivious to these two. So I'm gonna knock those off, and hopefully these cats pop right out. Alrighty. So that's out the way. Boom. Look at that. Boom. Just like that. So that's the right one. Left one. I'm gonna transfer the O2 sensors now so there's no confusion. And let's get to it. Same orientation, so that way nothing gets mixed up. These are a lot slimmer. So let's put this over here. Those have gaskets. You guys see that? They have gaskets. These don't. So that's why I believe they gave us these clamps, because now these will go just straight on, no gasket, and just bolt on. All right guys, so as soon as we got under here, I'm already happy because I can see everything that I need to get to. You guys can see there, right there are those two brackets we were just talking about. I'm sorry, the bracket with the two bolts. So there's one, and it seems pretty straightforward. On the far left side of the screen, those two bolts there, yeah, that's what we're gonna loosen up, and then these should slide right out. It shouldn't be a big deal. I probably don't even have to remove this undershield, because I see it seems like we have plenty of space, but who knows, we'll see. And then on the other side over here, these look like they're a little bit tighter. They're on the inside, right there. See them? Like probably 13s, maybe 12s. They look kind of small. So I'm gonna get in there with a little swivel and an extension, hit them with my impact, and they should just drop right out. Let's find out. Those bolts up there are an 11mm. So you're gonna need 11 mil socket and a similar setup like I've got here. Nothing too crazy. Just an extension, two extensions, and the and a swivel to get to it. And then I'm just gonna crack this with my impact, and we should be out shortly on this side. Guys, so I got those two bolts loose on both sides. Not too bad with an extension and a little swivel. Kind of blew my swivel up, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. So back to this. These are 15 mil As you guys can see, I already sprayed them. All right, guys, secondary cats are out. Definitely gave me a fight. Had to take a water break. But when you're doing these, you just gotta stay persistent. You gotta have your lube always ready. You always have to remember the reason why we're doing this, to be fast. So with that alone, you can do anything, guys. So pretty much I just soaked these ends up with PB Blaster, so that way the trick to get these out is not so much pull or bang, it's to rotate and pull, rotate and pull, rotate and pull. So as it rotates, every time you spin it, you're not going to get too much play, but as soon as it rotates, it loosens up and you can pull it out. It wasn't too bad. I didn't have to remove the undershield, so that's awesome. I just had to shake them up a little bit and they just dropped straight through. This one even came down with the clamp, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, guys, secondary cats are out. These are definitely going to go in a lot easier. Hopefully the fitment is A1, praying for that. But yeah, so we're gonna put these stock cats off to the side, and we are going to start working these in and getting them attached to the brackets, and then moving to the top. And we're making good progress. I believe it's been 2.5 hours of work so far. I am an experienced downpipe installer, so it might take you guys a little longer. It's moderately tedious, but remember, the goal is to be fast. You can do anything. So yeah, I'm gonna just clean up a little bit, get my head straight, drink some more water, and then we're gonna get back in there and slide those in. All right, guys, so working on the right side now. So we're just gonna want to snake it in. This is how I found it to be the easiest. You just want to go in like this, straight up, past the bracket, and then you're just gonna rotate it like so. And then you should be halfway up there. And then it should just hook up to the bracket. Look at that, pretty nice and easy. Already almost in the exhaust. Let's see if we can get it on the bracket by just sliding it in the exhaust to give us a little more clearance. Might not, but you see how easy that was, guys. You just got to snake it in there with the undershield still on. Yes, sir. I'm just gonna put my foot on this exhaust just to push it back to give me just another inch of clearance so I can slide it over that bracket. And then as you can see, without that cat, we can get to those bolts a lot easier. So I'm gonna do that now and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so quick update. I had to put the pipe on the bracket first before having it in the exhaust, because it wouldn't allow me to pull it back enough to clear the those two studs. So what I had to end up doing was I had to move down here, and I had to release these two exhaust hangers right here just from the top, so that way the exhaust would swing back enough for me to slide it over the downpipe. So now I'm gonna swing this back. I'm gonna need two hands, obviously. I'm gonna swing this back now and then slide it over, and we should be good. I'm gonna secure it first so that way it doesn't fall out while I'm doing this. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know how we're doing. Actually had to slide it onto the exhaust itself to get it to fall on the bracket. So this one was the opposite of the other side's case. So we got it on. So slide it onto the exhaust first, and then it should fall right onto the bracket. So I'm gonna put the bolts on, but I'm not gonna snug them because I want to make sure the fitment up top is perfect. So the last thing that I'm going to tighten down is gonna be the exhaust down here. I just want to make sure the fitment up there is perfect and we don't have any issues between where these two pipes connect and the turbo, of course. So I'm just gonna put the nuts on, not gonna tighten them all the way, and then we're gonna move up to the top and start working on the top. So this is how we're looking with them just sitting on the studs, unbolted. I am going to bring the upper pipe up here and just mock it up with the new clamps, because the old clamps aren't being used, at least not there. And I believe the turbo side still has the gaskets, so that doesn't change. I think we're gonna use the same clamps that we took off the turbo side. Guys, so by the looks of it, fitment doesn't look 100% just yet. It looks like it's gonna fit nicely on the turbo once I bend this bracket. Looks like I'm gonna have to bend this bracket a bit. This side goes on. This side goes on a lot easier. And the bracket seems to line up, so maybe the bracket's just a little bent. Not too bad. I might have to just apply some pressure on that bracket as well to make it flush. This side, it seems like maybe this bracket got a little bent, maybe in shipping or something, so it doesn't reach the turbo, as you guys can tell. So I'm just gonna have to just bend it back just a little bit, so no big deal. I'm going to put the new clamps. I'm gonna put the new clamps on the bottom of the pipe there, so that way I can bolt these upper ones on, and then we could fit the lower pipes on to these. Hopefully no issues. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get my Allens, put them on, pull this forward. I'm actually gonna put the clamp. The clamp should swing around it. I don't think, see, they open up pretty wide, so we shouldn't have any issues with this. I should just maybe I'll just put them on here, so that way we don't have any issues. So yeah, I'm just gonna bolt these on here and then just pry it on the pipe just to come forward towards the turbo, to make sure fitment is perfect, so that way we can start working on the bottom ones, and then we can hear a startup. All right guys, so I got this one bolted on completely, as you guys can see, with the bracket up top, the clamp, and the two Allens here that hold the other bracket. So it went on nice and snug. Now I'm going to try to position this properly and get the clamp over it and see how the fitment is. I think it might be good. I just have to pull on it a little bit. Remember, I'm loose down there, so it shouldn't be too bad. So once I get that put together, I'll move on to the other side. But so far, so good. All right, guys, so the one on the left, I tried bolting on the upper pipe first and then fitting the clamp, and that was a pain because I have to pry the bottom one, so that wasn't working. So I said, you know what, let me just try a different method. So I moved on to the right one and I clamped the lower pipe onto it, and then I'm trying to fit the turbo clamp on. As you guys can see, I have a huge pry bar here, just so that way we can get it flush on the turbo and get this clamp. So yeah guys, fitment, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10 for this brand. If you guys use another brand and it went a lot smoother, please let me know, so that way I can recommend these to my customers. But so far, this is second time I've dealt with this brand, and it's just I can't say it's perfect fitment. VRSF has always been outstanding. I never had an issue with them, but yeah, this one, considering I got a pry to make it fit, is it sucks. But yeah, we're getting there. I am probably gonna loosen this side up and go with this route. This route seems like it's has a higher success rate, but I'll let you guys know what works for me in a few seconds. All right, sliders, downpipes are in. Fitment was kind of booty, not gonna lie. Took me longer than I anticipated. Finally got the clamps on the bottom, both sides. Everything's bolted up. I actually had to completely release the lower downpipe to fit it properly. So you might be going up and down. I suggest just leaving the lower
downpipes completely loose, so that way you're not fighting, there's no resistance. And then yeah, hey, we got it together, we got them bolted on. I'm happy now. You already know we got a lot of stuff to put back together, a lot of heat shields, O2 sensors, and the coolant reservoirs, got to put those back. And then yeah guys, just reverse the process and stick around for the first startup and some revs coming soon. Hell yeah. Let me hear it. You can hear that spool. Sheesh. That is lovely. That is lovely. We're just letting it warm up before we take it on the road.